everybody, and welcome back to Performance on Wheels.
For almost 6 months, we were on the hunt for the perfect sports car under $60,000.
Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of them, and somehow we came up with the Jaguar F-Type R, the 2015 model year.
We're going to take a peek today at reviewing the F-Type in about the first month of ownership, as well as telling you guys why we think it is the perfect sports car under $60,000.
Let's check out why this Aston Martin designed 550 horsepower supercharged rear wheel drive V8 just might be the best. In this video, we're going to go over why we purchased this car, what we think of the car, how it is used, if you should buy one. This is specifically for people that are more in the market for an F-Type R. It's not going to be super exciting. We'll have other videos coming out where we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff with this thing. This is specifically for the people in the market for this car or just want to know about it. This is a beautiful designed car, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. When I say it won't be super exciting, it doesn't mean that we won't have a bunch of takeoffs and exhaust.
In 2013, later in the year, we started seeing the F-Type on America's roads. It is a British sports car that has been in the making for many years. It's on the chassis of its predecessor, although it's shortened, the XK. And this is finally a true sports car by Jaguar. Jaguar thought that they couldn't introduce the F-Type until they had fixed what they felt was wrong with their brand. They re-released and redesigned their sedan series. They came out with some sport utilities, and then the F-Type came. When the F-Type was first released, it was only in that roadster form. And from the words right out of the head designer's mouth, if you can create a roadster that is beautiful, making a beautiful coupe is effortless. And that is what was introduced in 2015, the F-Type coupe. Starting his career in designing in the late 70s, Ian Cullum started with Ford, designing vehicles such as the RS200, the Ford Escort Cosworth. And as he transitioned into his role at Aston Martin, he designed vehicles such as the DB7, the DB9, and the Vanquish. You can see a lot of those Aston Martin design cues in the F-Type. When I say Aston Martin design, this is where you really... I almost got my finger taken off there. This is where you see that Aston Martin. If you can't see anything else of the F-Type except for the back quarter panel, you would think this is an Aston Martin.
Ian Cullum loved the American hot rod. He took the simplicity of that into his thought of designing. He wanted to design the Audi TT. He wanted to design one of the generations of the Porsche 911. He loved the simplicity, the beautiful look, and that carries directly into the design of the Jaguar F-Type. One of the super cool things about Ian Cullum is his brother actually designed the new Ford GT, my personal favorite designed car.
We mention all that because that is a huge driving force when we are looking for that sports car under 60 grand. What it looks like, right? That's a huge part of having a car.
So you guys might be wondering what this kind of looks like design in real life, what people think of it. Here's what I take of it. This is like an American muscle car with the handling of an exotic car, with the looks of an exotic car, with the price of a Corvette.
In 2015, a lot of the competition for the F-Type were vehicles such as the Audi R8, an exotic car, the Nissan GTR, an exotic car, the Porsche 911 Turbo, every kid's dream car. Even the Chevrolet Corvette was considered one of the competitors and still is considered a competitor to the F-Type. All of those cars that were just mentioned, they have a huge heritage. They have a huge history behind them. The F-Type's history didn't start until the 2014 model year. There's a lot of people that don't know what this car is yet. It hasn't been around that long. But let me show you how easy it is to tell that this is a Jaguar. Take a walk. We have Jaguar on the headlights. We have Jaguar on the emblem. I'm not even going to go over all of them. I just want to give you a feel. We have Jaguar on the front quarter panel. Every one of the wheels has Jaguar on it. The brake calipers have Jaguar on it. This is my personal favorite on the brushed aluminum, the hidden door handle, Jaguar. We go inside. When we move to the inside, we have Jaguar on the floor mat, the door sill. My personal favorite is just the itty bitty Jaguar scripting on the vents. And we can't forget the vents in the middle as well. We obviously need the kitty somewhere on the car, so we have Jaguar on the trunk. We have Jaguar on the trunk sill.
The MSRP of this car in 2015 was $99,000 starting price. This one probably was around $120,000 with all the options this has. But why did it depreciate to under $60,000 in that time frame? Well, there's kind of a big history of Jaguars being very, very unreliable cars, and a lot of people still see it that way. But this motor, it's pretty much bulletproof. This thing's like the GTR motor. It can handle power, and it does not break. It just keeps going and going and going.
Prior to 2009, the AJ series motor was shared and kind of manipulated by some other brands such as Ford or Lincoln. Jaguar took the concepts of that motor and made it their own. This is a Jaguar motor, the 5-liter V8. In 2015, we're strapped with that supercharger. It did exist prior to 2015 with the supercharger, but we're cranked up to 550 horsepower. We even have over 500 pound-feet of torque. Guys, that's possible because of that supercharger.
Yes, but the thing is about the F-Type, the design came first. The design was the main point. Jaguar wanted this car to be beautiful, and when they went to go talk to the performance people, the design people and the performance people got in a little argument because there was supposed to be a strut bar right here. That was supposed to help the front rigidity, but that would have increased the hood line up, I think it was like 2.5 inches. So they had to come up with a new type of bracing for a car of this high performance. And as you can see here, there is bracing.
So when we start talking about power and horsepower, how does that 550 horsepower stack up to the competitors?
Well, the Audi R8 V8 and V10, this has 100 more torque. More than 100 more torque is what I meant. And within 30 horsepower of the V10.
That's crazy. When you talk about the Porsche 911 Turbo, the Porsche 911 Turbo in 2015 had 520 horsepower and similar torque to this.
Wow, that's impressive. The Nissan GTR had like 545 horse.
Right, and then we have the Z06, which everyone knows the numbers on that.
Yeah, 650, 650. That was a really big deal.
So it's crazy that this is right there. This is a true competitor, guys, if not exceeding all the other cars.
Crazy.
But we also have to keep the cat cool. So everything up here is exposed radiators, exposed cooling of sorts. It starts right about here, and it wraps around the entire front side of the car, and it even carries underneath.
With 50 trial and errors, this F-Type exhaust gives you the experience you had the first time you shot a gun. The banging, the popping, the hurting of your ears, it is so ridiculously loud, is the experience the F-Type gets you. Every time you left your foot off the gas, every single time, bang, 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 bang. Now let's take a peek at what this looks like from the underside.
We obviously have that true dual exhaust system all the way back, guys. And then we get back to just this massive briefcase of an exhaust muffler combined. So what's neat about this is our actuators for that active exhaust is on the outside inlets. So both of those outside inlets, they remain closed until you hit that button. So in normal mode, you're only getting that exhaust sound out of the innermost inlets. With all the power, we have to stop as well. Now, there are a handful of configurations available for the F-Type. However, your stopping distance from 60 is like 101, 102 feet. Porsche 911 Turbo, 98, 99 feet. Z06, 99, 100 feet. Again, we're right there. How do these brakes stay cool? Well, guys, it's not through here. This is all blocked plastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Austin show you where that cooling is right now.
To understand the cooling and the brake cooling, you have to understand where all of this air is coming in. All of this is for inlets of air. But check this out. If you look down here, so air kind of sucks in through here, and then come take a peek under here. So the air comes through that bottom vent, and then it comes out through here and here for bottom downforce. It keeps that front end nice and planted, so it's not flying all over the place on the road. Then it also comes out these side pieces here, goes straight into this little roller coaster loop, It goes directly into the brakes to keep the brakes cool. A different type of brake cooling that I have not seen before. We're down here, another really interesting thing, the air boxes are right next to the wheels. We have one located right here and one located right here. Let's talk about the competition, because half of the experience of a super sports car is the sound it makes, and this thing nails that. Let's talk about the GTR real quick. Sounds like a vacuum cleaner. Let's be honest here. Let's talk about the V8 R8. Also sounds like a vacuum cleaner. But the V10 R8, that's a nice sound. That's a Lamborghini motor, and that thing screams. I love the sound of the R8 V10. Let's talk about the Corvette. That is a mean sounding V8. Doesn't give you the crackle and pops, but wow, at those high RPMs does that thing scream.
Let's be honest, the F-Type's probably not the most practical car in the group, but I am looking for that a little bit. I want to be able to take the car on a road trip. I want to be able to experience it, not only the car, but the country. The F-Type Coupe has a trunk. After almost 15 hours straight in the seat of the F-Type on my first day of ownership, I feel like I got a pretty good judge of what the seats are all about. And I like them. Yes, they're firm. Yes, they're a sports car seat. But the adjustability that comes with the lumbar, that comes with the bolster support, I think they're awesome seats. The only purpose that behind the seat of the F-Type serves is to maybe hang your designer jacket up back here, as well as your subwoofer and speaker. Now, this is one of the faults of that Meridian sound system. They are known to crackle. There is a fix for it and a service bulletin on it, and what that fix is like wedging styrofoam in behind the speakers.
The F-Type is rated for 18 to 23 miles per the gallon. And on a road trip, which we have proven, we have seen mid-20s. Pretty impressive. But if you're going to drive this like an F-Type owner would drive this, you're going to be seeing about 15. Let's go ahead and follow down this little hole to see how they figured out how to use this gas tank for weight and balance.
With that weight balance and to get a good sized gas tank, I think we're right around 18 gallons. We have a gas tank that's right underneath here, and then it goes over the exhaust, goes over the drivetrain, and is over here as well. So we got that equal balancing with weight for the fuel.
To also help with that weight and balance or weight distribution, whatever you want to say, we have the windshield washer fluid back here, and we also have a battery sitting right under here. There is a backup camera right here. The interior quality on a 30,000+ mile F-Type, what issues are we seeing? This sticky weird material has some scratches in it, as you can see, and I'd assume that's on a majority of them. Also, in certain light angles, you can see this black plastic here is shredded in plastic. Many scratches all over that entire thing. The leather is very high quality everywhere still. The buttons all work great, the lights all work great. Those are the only two things that would tell me that this car had a substantial amount of miles compared to a brand new one.
In my specific car hunt, the F-Type was the car that kept getting dismissed. It was kind of, well, you can get an F-Type, and there's really no thought put in it beyond that. The GTR were top competitors. Trying to find a 911 I was all about, just because I wanted a 911. And then trying to find an R8 under 60 grand, that's a bit of a challenge. You can do it, but it's pretty hard pressed. Obviously a Corvette, you could go to any street corner and buy a Corvette.
Yeah. The R8 holds its value better than any of the competitors.
For sure.
And the Porsche's up there too, but there's no doubt the R8 holds its value much higher.
And the F-Type is the absolute...
The F-Type is the absolute worst. This thing has lost a very substantial amount of its value.
I think a big part of that is just the fact that Jaguar hasn't made a name for themselves.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's a brilliant car.
Yeah, everybody loves it. Everybody loves the exhaust. Everybody loves the design. And how can't you love the performance?
Yeah, the performance and what the car can do, like it's top notch. It really is. But in the hunt for the F-Type, it was further dismissed in both of our minds, I think, when we went to the LA Auto Show, and I drove one, you rode in one,
Yeah.
on separate occasions, and we both came out of it kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, it was the all-wheel drive model. I think it was a 2019.
It was, 2019 or 2020, I'm not sure.
Right off the bat, I was really excited about the exhaust of it.
And it seemed like it was tame.
Yeah, it seemed like the exhaust was actually wider than this one. The all-wheel drive one, I mean, the guy floored it every corner we went on, and
I floored it every corner.
And I did not enjoy it. It didn't put me back to my seat. This one puts me... You know what? I'd like to rephrase that. We were in LA, and it was a very, very tight area. And what I've noticed in this car, I'm not put back to my seat until, what, 4,000 RPM? There's nowhere in LA to get above 4,000 RPM in the city. I have a feeling that's why I didn't enjoy it. In the passenger seat, I'm slammed to the back of my seat at 4,000.
I wasn't wowed by the experience, so it further dismissed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into it thinking, well, maybe it was the all-wheel drive that kind of took the fun out of the car.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with the rear-wheel drive. When I first got it, not that it matters to me, but I was kind of just curious what kind of attention the F-Type would draw compared to the GTR.
Yeah.
And it's definitely turning quite a few heads. It does draw a lot of attention, but it's a different kind of attention as well.
Yeah, for sure. The F-Type was I meant the GTR. Younger crowds following you home.
Screaming out the window.
Hanging down low to take a picture on the highway. This just...
admires. A lot of admirers.
Yeah, exactly. And it will snap necks like no other when they hear that exhaust go pop, pop, pop. Just like so.
There's a lot of people that saying this car is dangerous and crazy and it can't be controlled. I don't think that's true at all. And I'm speaking more towards the rear-wheel drive form that we're in. Obviously, when you're hunting for a little traction off the line, she can get a little squirrely. But the thing is planted. It actually has a torque vectoring system in the braking that you're never going to experience unless you're pushing this car extremely hard. So in corners, it'll adjust with the brakes. Different areas where it's feeling slippage to keep you in line.
There is no point on any point on the road during hard, high-performance cornering where I have felt this car have any slip whatsoever. It is planted.
In 2015 as well, they also came out with the revised electronic slip differential. Again, delivering that power back and forth to keep this thing planted and rocketing down the road. 8-speed transmission in the F-Type, although it's not a dual clutch, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it shifts so fast.
And it's not, there's a lot of people that say like it's a BMW transmission or some crap like that, which is kind of true. BMW does use the same transmission in a lot of their rear-wheel drive cars, but it's also a very similar transmission that's found in
the Dodge Demon.
Exactly. They've rebranded it. They made it on their own, but this is where it started.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a dual clutch, but I think you're gonna have a hard time noticing a huge difference.
No, I saw a lot of reviews that actually say it shifts faster than a Porsche. So basically, with all the cars in this class, how did we come up with the Jaguar F-Type?
And there's a lot more cars in this class other than what we mentioned.
The AMG C63S Coupe,
BMW M4,
the Alfa Romeo 4C you can throw in there.
For sure. There's a lot of cars that are awesome, fun driving, fun experience cars.
Yeah, there's so many things that you can have fun with in this price range, and we came up with this one specifically for a few of them. That being one of them, that killer exhaust system.
The full experience it delivers. Yeah. It's like, I love muscle cars. In in the V8 form, it's like a true muscle car. In the V6 form, it's a killer sports car.
I see the V6 one as a hill climb car. You know, you take it to the mountains on the weekends. You want to get the convertible V6 one, something like that. And the V8 one, I feel like it's a mean American British muscle car that just wants to rip your face off, and you always have to smile while it's doing so.
And yet you have this, like, all the luxury that it packs in here and all the features. The performance is really quite remarkable. Even comparing it to the GTR that we had, that was obviously all-wheel drive, had an AMS Alpha 6 package on it, so it was packing some ponies.
That thing pulled.
And it did pull, but this is only rear-wheel drive, And I'm telling you, the performance is not that far off from the GTR. Yes,
at all.
the GTR would win the race. I would almost guarantee it. When I was just playing around yesterday, when I was in the car by myself, using the Drag Racer app, which that's a fun app, guys. If you haven't looked into that, it's a fun app that's fairly accurate based off of GPS signals and whatnot. It tells you the level of accuracy with the GPS signals that it's getting. I was getting like 4.1, 4.2, 4.6 pretty consistently on my 0 to 60 time. However, when my last run and I wasn't getting hardly any tire spin on my launch, I got 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. Now,
that's crazy.
Obviously, it's from a phone app, but it sure felt like that. I mean, the car just hooked up and went.
And the other thing, though, you got to think about is you can do that with this car, whereas the GTR, you don't want to launch it all the time because you're just going to blow that transmission up with the all-wheel drive system. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video on our newly purchased 2015 Jaguar F-Type R. We absolutely love this car, and
got a lot of memories to make in it.
Yeah.
Join us so you can come along for the ride.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure to press subscribe, comment down below what you guys think of the F-Type, or if you guys plan on purchasing one, have questions, anything like that. If you guys are curious about our channel, you can go ahead and watch the Toyota Camry we tuned right here. You can watch us lower the Toyota Camry right here. And you can watch us on our first video of the F-Type right here. And you can also subscribe right here. Have a nice day.